Hey guys, welcome back. It's Genix, and in this video I'll be showing you how to use conditions. Um, I went ahead and made everything in the SQF because I just wanted to go over everything with you guys real quick, just so you guys understand how conditions work. So let's get started. The first thing we got is the variables. We got myvar1, which equals 1. We got the variable myvar2, which equals 2. We got the variable myvar3, which equals 3. And like I said, I already pre-assigned everything just to show you how everything works. So let's just start with the first one. So the first condition is if myvar1 equals 1. That is true. Myvar1 does equal 1, and yeah, my variable 1 does equal 1. So it's just asking if 1 equals 1, then, it's true, so it will execute the first block. The first block is true, the second block is false, which we'll be getting into here in a sec. And in the second condition, it's myvar2 does not equal 1, then, again, now this statement is true because myvar2 does not equal 1. And you just put an exclamation there for not. And you can see this is equals, this is does not equal. So myvar2 does not equal 1 because myvar2 is 2. So because myvar2 does not equal 1, then it will execute the first block, because the first block is always will execute if the statement is true. I think that's all I need to go over right there. Yeah. I mean, if I made it myvar3, it still wouldn't, it still would be true because myvar3 does not equal 1. Now, if I made it 1, then it'd be myvar1. If myvar1 does not equal 1, but it does equal 1, myvar1 does equal 1. So if I put myvar1 right here, then it would be false and it would not execute this. All right. Just wanted to make that clear. Let's go to these other statements where we put else in the mix. So if myvar3 equals 3, then because it is true, it will execute the first block. You have else, and then you have your second block. Else is for if the statement is false. So because the statement is true, it will not be executing that second block. So if we go down to the second condition, it's if myvar3, which is 3, equals 4, which it does not. The first block is true, but it's false. So they'll be executing the second block, which is false. They'll be executing what's in that second block. And then we have the exit with. So we have if myvar1 equals 1, exit with. And what this exit with one, this one's very special because in a script where you have like quite a few lines, and say you don't want the rest of that script to execute unless this variable is true. So if say you got a script and you got a bunch of code down here you don't want to execute, like this switch. Say you don't want to execute the switch. Okay. Well, if myvar equals 1, then exit with, and then it just won't execute the rest of the script below it. Keep that in mind. This is also good for getting out of loops and stopping loops as well. So keep that in mind as well. But yeah, so since myvar is equal to 1, it will exit with true, and it will not execute anything below. So yeah. Now we're going to go to the switch. And switch is like a bunch of if. It's kind of like a bunch of if conditions together. So we got switch, myvar2, do, and myvar2 is equal to 2. And the case is kind of like the, how do I explain it? A case is like a case is like a condition. We'll know. Gosh, it's hard to explain, but essentially, if myvar2 is equal to 2, you have case 2, right? So if my var is equal to 2, then it's going to execute case 2, which would be true. So it's going to execute this block. Since it does not equal 1, it will not be executing 1. Since it is not 3, it will not be executing 3. Now if we changed myvar2 to myvar3, then it would execute case 3 because it is 3. But it won't because it's 2. And then we have default down here. And default is if we had myvar4, right? We had a variable myvar4 and it equaled 4. And say it had switch myvar4. Now because myvar4 equals 4 and because 4 is not defined in any of these 3 cases, it will switch to default. And I even quoted right here, if myvar is not equal to 1, 2, or 3, then it would execute default. And that's really good if your condition or if your variable did not meet the condition. So, you know, if it did not equal 1, 2, or 3, then it's going to execute default. And default is where you would have any code you would want. I don't know what you would be using the switch for. That's really up to you and what you're scripting and all that. So yeah, I think that's really it. I don't think I have anything else. Next video, I will be showing you how to use functions. We're gonna be setting up functions before we start writing. Before we start putting all the code together and executing it. The reason why is because functions are a really good way of keeping your scripts clean and organized. So I'll be showing you guys how to make functions next video. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.